A soldier from East Germany, bypassing orders, helps a boy cross the border of the future Berlin Wall so that he can reunite with his family. 1961. Miss Morris and the Dance Class. C. 1922. British dancer, choreographer, and teacher, as well as an artist. In the 1920s, she opened a comprehensive school where, in addition to the usual school subjects, dancing and acting were taught. In 1940, the British Minister of Information appointed artist Ethel Gabine to paint a picture of the war. In the photo, she paints a picture after the German air raids in London's East End. Fruit vending machine in the London Underground, 1920s. A vending machine that purports to sell fruit, but actually offers basic necessities from the kitchen cabinet, such as OXO cubes, stock cubes, cans, matches, and Colgate products. A coal merchant from Bedford and his horse named Sam in a bar in the 1930s. Coming to the bar every week to play dominoes and drink foam, they became real celebrities, thus making the evening of other guests unforgettable. Men rescue residents of Rotherhithe in South London from flooding caused by the Thames overflowing its banks, 1928. The flood was the last major flood to occur in central London until now. A woman driving a miniature car in London, 1939. The car was only 150 centimeters long and could reach speeds of up to 65 kilometers per hour. The car was produced by the British Motorboat Manufacturing Company with a circulation of about 1,000 copies. Harold Stevens, the judge of Weymouth, spends the night on the steps of the London Embankment to get an idea of the life of the homeless, 1926. American actress Sally O'Neill plays the violin, and an American bulldog sits on its hind legs next to her. This is a still from the silent film directed by John P. McCarthy Becky. Wipers at the water tank in the courtyard of a city house, 1900 to 1910. Presumably to the left of the janitor is a tub from the house laundry. A tub is a round or oblong dish for washing clothes, washing dishes, or other household needs. Breaking ice on the Neva River, 1897 to 1903. Later, the ice was transported to ice cellars, both to individuals and to special refrigerators in restaurants and other establishments. Sophia Loren at the Cannes Film Festival, France, 1955. The Italian film actress is now 90 years old. She started acting at 16, and since the mid-50s, she has already been a recognized global star. In 1962, Loren won an Oscar. She has 2 in total. Karl Landsteiner is a biologist, physician, and immunologist. At the beginning of the 20th century, he was able to identify the main blood groups, and in 1937, the Rh factor. This allowed medical workers to transfuse blood without endangering the lives of patients. Elvis Presley at home with stuffed animals, 1956. The famous singer, actor, and one of the most commercially successful performers of popular music of the XX century. Ethel Barrymore is an American actress who is the great-aunt of Drew Barrymore. Winston Churchill was in love with her. He proposed to her, but she refused because she did not want to be a politician's wife. A worker collects pasta from a pasta tree. Neapolitan or solar drying is an old way of drying pasta. During the day, the products were hung on special poles under the scorching sun, and at night they were removed to the basement. This process took from 3 to 5 days. It all depended on the thickness of the pasta. The first inflatable push-up bra in France, 1952. French television celebrity Jacques Angelvin has demonstrated for the first time a new inflatable push-up bra in France. In the 1960s, Lufthansa served pork and draft beer on board. Once upon a time, a 20-centimeter carving knife could be carried on an airplane, unfastened on a trolley in the aisle, accessible to anyone, and also to smoke, drink beer from a wooden barrel, eating it all with ham. A 4-penny bed in a homeless shelter. England, 1900. Such flophouses have received the term 4-penny coffin. In the late 19th century and early 20th, such shelters were used to help the needy citizens of England. The tallest, fattest, and smallest man in Europe playing cards, 1913. The tall man is wearing a chokha, part of the traditional clothing in the Caucasus, so he can be a Cossack, Georgian, Circassian, etc. A man sits on a stack of car tires, Los Angeles, 1928. The gas station belonged to the Mueller brothers, and they were real promoters. They washed the elephant at the sink, put women on display with advertising posters. In general, they attracted customers by any means. Gymnast Betty Fox jumps rope on a skyscraper 20 floors high. Chicago, Illinois, 1955. Acrobat Betty Fox has shocked the public for decades with spectacular and dangerous stunts at high altitude in the complete absence of insurance. An improvised baby cot. Los Angeles, 1971. Pat Johnson, a police officer, is caring for a girl, about 9 months old, who was found alone and crying in a downtown hotel room. The child was put in a document storage box to sleep after she was fed milk, jelly, and cottage cheese. She was later taken to a foster home. A family stands in front of their house on Arizona Highway 87, south of Chandler, Maricopa County, Arizona, 1940. In the left corner of the photo, you can see the wheels of a car and a canister of car oil. Most likely this is a car house. Back then, many residents traveled around the country in search of at least some kind of work. Automatic Telephone Exchange, PBX, in New York, 1940s. If there are signalers among the subscribers, they will be very familiar with this design. Bags of flour, USA, 1930s. During the Great Depression, flour manufacturers learned that distressed mothers often sewed their children's clothes from flour sacks, so they began to produce such bags from colored factory fabrics. A nurse on snowshoes, Ramapo Mountains, circa 1925. The mountains are located in northeastern New Jersey and southeastern New York. Newspaper children were not uncommon in the United States. As a rule, they were hungry homeless boys who were trying to earn a piece of bread. Tens of thousands of barefoot children shouted and distributed newspapers. He's lucky enough to have shoes. Ladies in trousers, 1925. The first female cowboys in the United States began to appear only in the middle of the 19th century. After the end of the Civil War, many went to the West in search of a better life. It was the largest migration in the history of the United States. The Courtyard in Manhattan, New York, the beginning of the 20th century. Rollers were installed on special poles, and the rope was simply pulled over these rollers. In the days of rope laundries in New York, there were young guys who climbed poles and adjusted, repaired, and changed ropes. They got about 25 cents for their work. Jerusalem in the snow, February 1921. Snow is a very rare phenomenon in Jerusalem. Usually, during the entire winter period, the city is covered with snow 1 to 2 times per season. A Tibetan man greets a photographer in Lhasa, 1955. Tibetans show their tongue when greeting to demonstrate that they came in peace and friendship. They also show that they are not demons, because the demon's tongue is green. That's a funny tradition. A first-class sleeping car on the train. Canada, 1929. This is a 1929 first-class carriage produced by the American Pullman Palace Car Company. The locker at the top is a sleeping place when folded. There are seats for 2 passengers at the bottom, and the lower chairs are also transformed into a sleeping place. The first eruption of the Paracutan volcano occurred on February 20th, 1943, west of Mexico City in the state of Michoacán in a cornfield near the village of Paracutan, which gave the new volcano its name. It is considered the youngest volcano in Mexico. Rock singer Freddie Mercury was the lead singer of the band Queen, taking 18th place in the Rolling Stones list of 100 greatest vocalists of all time in 2008. The singer's real name is Ferenc Balsara. German Chancellor Adolf Hitler with Russian-German actress Olga Chekhov during a reception at the home of Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop in Dahlem, Berlin, May 22, 1939. A woman repairs a tank. England, 1940. In the photo, the British Matilda 1 Malawian Kwacha tank. This model is the first production model of the British. It has been produced since 1937. A total of 139 machines were manufactured. Most of them were lost in 39 to 40 on the European continent. Rommel inspects the fortifications on the beach. which will soon become the Utah landing area. Normandy, 1944. The fortifications were located near the French town of Sungut at Cape White Nose. These wooden structures were designed to deter enemy transport in the event of an amphibious landing. Captain Lewis Nixon suffers from a hangover after celebrating Victory Day at Hitler's Eagle's Nest, 1945. In the Eagle's Nest, there was a collection of 10,000 bottles of alcohol, wine, champagne. The entire collection was collected over the years by the political, state, and military figure of Nazi Germany, Hermann Göring. In the 19th century, dog sleds were very actively used in European countries as transport and for their own needs. There was an acute shortage of horses in Belgium, and by the 1920s there were about 15,000 dog sleds in the country. Cobra casters have been common in Sri Lanka for a long time. The fakir played the flute, and the cobra rose from the basket and moved to the beat, after which the hypnotized snake stared at the fakir's wand for several hours. Chinese railway workers pose for a photographer somewhere near Vancouver, Canada, 1874. As cities on the West Coast grew, Chinese began to come to North America in large numbers in search of work and a better life. A boy from a poor family, and in order to support his mother and disabled father, he shined his shoes in anticipation of his meager payment. 3 children sift sand at a gold mine in Dominion Creek, Yukon, Alaska, 1898. A Victorian lady with long hair, 1890s. Caring for such long hair required a very long amount of time. Italian wedding, 1940s. The indescribable joy on the faces of the older generation. Mom keeps her boy from acting rashly. Miss Martha Sue McCown from Norwalk inspects the damage to her Ford Galaxy in which she jumped the guardrail at high speed. USA, 1962. A queue for food at a Red Cross checkpoint during the Great Depression on the background of a poster, "There is no other way of life than the American one." Ohio, 1937. A group of tourists in Las Vegas from the front row watching the nuclear bomb tests in 1953. The landfill is located in the United States in the south of Nevada in Nye County, just 105 kilometers northwest of Las Vegas. In the 1950s, nuclear bomb tests were often conducted there. Canteen for the unemployed and the poor during the Great Depression, 1930s. The most difficult and painful period spanned the years 1929 to 1933 and was so named because it left millions of people without means of livelihood.